A very good morning to all my dear students. Today we are going to understand a poem entitled Animals. Before we proceed on with this wonderful poem, let us first try to understand few things about the poet as well as the theme of the poem. So this wonderful poem Animals is composed by Walt Whitman, who was born on May 31st, 1819 in New York. He was the second son of Walter Whitman, a house builder. In 1820s, the family of Walt Whitman moved to Brooklyn, where Whitman attended the Brooklyn Public School. This was the name of his school. In 1836, at the age of 17, he began his career as a teacher. He continued the same profession till the year 1841, when he turned his career to a journalism. As a full-time career, he chose this field called journalism. He has been a major figure in early American poetry. He has broken the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry. Okay, he was very famous for writing a revolutionary kinds of poetries, okay, which would touch the heart of masses, and most of the times his subject of his poetries would be some sort of social issues. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. So this was all about the author, the poet in short. Let us try to understand at what exactly is there in the poem. Okay, so very first I'll explain you the theme of the poem, and then we will move on with the line by line explanation of this poem. So as the name suggests animals, no doubt the poem is about respecting animals, loving animals, adopting an empathetic attitude about animals. In the present poem, the poet expresses his wish to become an animal and live with them, because he is fed up of the materialistic aspects of human life, the life what we are living. The poem Animals is from his works Song of Myself, okay, in the Leaves of Grass. And in this poem, he admires animals for being better than human beings in everything. According to the poet, animals do not possess the qualities like jealousy, uh, they do not possess the quality like greed, okay, and so on. So that's why he says that animals are much better uh, creatures, okay, or beings than human beings in many aspects. So he expresses his deep desire to be with animals and be a part of their world. I hope the theme of the poem is clear. Now we will begin with the line by line explanation. You need to pay attention on the slides which you will see on your screen. We will read the poem, and that's how we will have the explanation, line by line explanation of the poem along with the meanings of new words. Okay everyone, so I'm reading the lines of poetry. You all need to pay attention on the given slides. So it says, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. These are the lines of the first stanza. Two new words are there in these lines. First one is placid. Placid means calm, peaceful, serene, okay, contained, it means keep up control over something, okay, or the ability of being satisfied, okay. So the line goes on like this. Let us try to decode the lines. I think I could turn and live with animals. The poet expresses here his clear wish that he wants to uh, change himself and live like an animal, to live with animals, and leave his present society behind. We can say the poet finds the world of animal much better alternative to the human life, being humans. He further says that he finds animal more peaceful than human beings. They do not have any greeds, nor do have, nor they do have any uh, envious or jealous mindsets, okay, nor there is a rat race like we humans have, okay, with each other, and so on. So the poet is very much impressed with these qualities of the animals, and he says so because they are not running after the materialistic things. They are not running after the worldly pleasures like human beings do. They are calm and they don't have any greed for the worldly things. Second thing is, animals do not interfere with each other. They live a very calm life, and whenever they hunt out of the hunger, it is just to satisfy their hunger, their need. And there is a vast difference between a need, okay, and a strong desire to do something. So what animals do, it is out of their need, but what we do, it is out of our desires. Many a times human beings wants to achieve those things for which they might not have taken those much of efforts. They may not be eligible for those things, to have those things in their life, but still they have a strong desire to have those things by hook or by crook in their lives. These things are not there in the life of animal. They are very much satisfied with the kind of life they have, the kind of resources they have. They do not compete with each other, okay, on any basis. Most importantly, they do not discriminate with each other on any basis. So there is no hurdle, okay, in the kind of whatever life they live, and the kind of what we can say, the kind of behavioral aspects what they have with each other. So it is very simple, it is very straight, it is very clear. It is not complicated like the structure of we peoples, like human beings have, okay. So they are self-contained, that means they are happy, okay, and they never interfere with the lives of each other, whereas human beings do have this habit, these qualities, this trait to interfere in the lives of others, to comment on others, okay. So the poet thinks that animals are far better than human beings in every aspect. They are calm creatures, okay, and for them worldly things do not matter. The poet further says that these are the reasons why he has took this stand, that he wants to live with animals. Now he stands still there, okay, and he pay attention to the third line of first stanza. I stand and look at them long and long. I stand and look them, because poet is very much impressed with these qualities of animals, and that's why he says that he stands still there out there and he looks at the animals for a very long time. He has a desire to turn himself into an animal, okay, as he is very much impressed by their calmness, by the purity of their minds, by the purity of their heart. So the simple life of animals uh, help them to maintain the self-control, okay, and their rationality. If it is compared with the human beings, the life of animals, the life of human beings is much complicated in these terms. So he stands and have a look at them for a longer time. In the phrase long and long, the implied meaning is the longing that the poet feels for these two qualities in human beings, which he does not finds in human beings. So summing up the very first stanza, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. This means that the poet expresses his desire to go and be a part of animal life, to live with them. They are so placid and self contained. They are so calm and they have their self control. Okay, they do not interfere with anyone's life. I stand and look at them long and long, and I'm so impressed by this simple pattern of the life of animals that the poet stands there for a longer period of time, and he wonders that these two qualities which are not there in human beings, may these qualities have been a part of human life. So he just stands there and watch those animals for a long time. So that was all about stanza first. Let us try to understand what stanza second brings before us.